Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Rising from Iron. And on this episode is going to be pretty special. This actually was a pretty damn good game on my part. But don't worry, there's plenty of mistakes that happen, so we'll be going all over that. But we're actually going to start in the bot lane. I think this was a duo group. So just the two of them go and invade. They're able to get the Janna. And then even though it's a 2v3, Hecarim comes in, so a 3v3. Alistar's able to bait it out. Rengar dies. Jhin trying to go for the kill, but only dies himself. So already at the start of the game, we are 3-0. And Victor, who's supposed to be mid, already blows his ghost. So wow. So I was watching all that, and I'm like, okay, well, but I do what Shen players generally try to do, set up their sword early. Now I know I can't really fight him, so for the most part I knew I gotta stay healthy. And again, as skill cap will tell you guys, if it's melee versus range, range should be trying to slow push the wave. But at least this time I was not too worried about my CS. I knew this was going to be a tough lane. Here hit level 3, had all my abilities. Tried to land that, but nope. I was keeping an eye on the jungle. I'm like, okay, Hecarim's up here, and he pings. He says he's on his way. So I tried to wait as long as I could. Tried to see if I could kind of bait out Teemo. Going for the last hits, and then, okay, time to go in. Landed the Q. Did as much damage as we could. And no need to flash, because, I mean, it's Hecarim, and especially once my E came back up, but otherwise, super easy kill. Now, I think this is probably my first mistake, is trying to push the wave so quickly. I should have just recalled and then teleported back. That way I would have had an item advantage and then be able to slow push the wave and crash it into his tower, because now Teemo could just freeze the wave right here. He's got more than enough minions to just freeze the wave right there, and I would have been in huge trouble. So of course I'm trying to see if I can push it out as best I can, but against a ranged champ, this is impossible. So once I leveled up, I'm like, okay, there's not much I can do here, so I finally decided to recall. But it is incredible, Teemo is trying to push it out. I thought maybe he's trying to freeze it now, but no, he was basically trying to slow push it back. But once again, I just go right back into letting him slow push it back to my wave. Maybe wait and see if Hecarim will come back up again. But otherwise, just trying to take it easy. Looks like Alistar was doing a good job roaming, trying to help out the other lane. So he knew Hecarim was up here, but then he goes up. This seemed kind of crazy to me. He doesn't... I think he saw Hecarim, and Hecarim scanned it. Okay, I mean, they had a ward here, so let's see. They get Victor easily. Teemo should see that Hecarim is on his way. But Teemo's playing it safe. He's going, okay, Hecarim's probably in that bush. But then he comes up. This seems insane on his part. He knows, sure, there's a big wave right here, but he's playing cautious because he's pretty sure that Hecarim is in that top jungle, but then he keeps coming up here. So this Teemo is playing very aggressive and disrespectful. So here I decided to go in, did some pretty good damage to Teemo. And he didn't get to deal too much damage to me, so this time I felt really confident, like I think I can take Teemo on. And let's see what happens here. Hecarim runs over a shroom, and Teemo's not even running. He is so confident he can just take me on in a 1v1. And I mean, he came close, he even ignited me. I'll give him that, but he just played so aggressively and just wasn't respectful that, hey, Hecarim could easily come up here. And as you can see, 2v1'd him again. Now, I was being really undecided here. I knew I wanted that cannon minion, but I knew I needed a recall, and then I'm like, well, I guess I might as well try to push out the wave. So I still need to keep watching skill cap videos on lane management, and when early on in the game, when do you push or when do you slow push? or when are you able to kind of freeze the lane? I know this was going to slow push, and it was a canyon minion. So, like, as soon as the fight was over, probably the best thing to do is to teleport back. He doesn't have a teleport, so I can easily get back here quick and then push the wave quickly with fresh items. Meanwhile, in mid lane, this is where the team deathmatch, I would say, begins. Of course, as Shen, when you have your ultimate, you always want to be looking at your teammates, finding out is there a good time to jump in. So I do see there's a lot of activity down here. And this is where I'm like, Hecarim's in trouble, because it looks like a 3v1 down there, so I teleport in, get this Rengar. And I look down here and I'm like, that's a low Jhin and a low Janna. So I'm going to go ahead and flank behind. I get the Janna, and then I know I'm scaring the Jhin because he's like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. So me and Alistair just go right in. I was about to back off, but then I was like, I think we could probably get this victor, but then I had regrets on that. But I figured, we can't really do much right now. And he even blows his flash. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of here, gotta get out of here. I knew Teemo was probably on his way, and sure enough he was. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just fight it. Okay, I know I'm not winning. Especially since he threw that shroom right on top of me, so... Well, that's all you gotta do. Just retreat. And then I pinged, saying like, watch out, Teemo's coming. Lux trying her best to help out. And so this is where the team deathmatch for Iron and Bronze players pretty much begins. As you would expect in low elos, it's all about the kills. But I've been learning from skill cap that that is not what it's all about. You've got to play with objectives. Jhin and Janna are pushing really hard. They got a big wave. They're getting plates. Bot lane, I guess, was mid at first, and then they're like, okay, well, let's head down there. Lux is already down there. Hecarim's down there. So 4 of my teammates are down here, and for some reason bot lane just does not respect that. They even have like a ton of wards, so they should have seen this coming, and both of them end up dead. Oh my god, this is crazy. I definitely needed to certainly get a lot more closer. And then, completely unaware of Alistair coming up here and then trying to go in, and then I was like, what? Where did this Jhin come from? So, thanks Alistair for baiting me. But it's okay, because then the rest of my team shows up. Lux kills Teemo. Rengar's on his way up. Alistair dies. And all Lux had to do is just flash over here. But no, she flashes over there. Well, it was kind of back and forth. I mean, yes, he had more CS because he should as a ranged person. What is going on? So we got Zarya and Alistair. Victor's just going after him really hard. I don't even know anymore. Meanwhile, I just kept trying to do my best in top lane. Okay, so Lux and Zeri are down here pushing mid. Slowly picking away at him. Rengar just decides to jump in by himself because he thinks he's super strong. Jhin also follows up. He dies. Rengar flashes in. Janna's off to the side, dies. Victor's, I mean, just throwing out his abilities and also dies. So, wow. I really do wonder how Teemo's feeling. He decides to hide. And I'm sure he's going to attack. Yeah. He's going to feel cheeky by attacking Hecarim. Oh. I know this. Okay, so just before that fight, I'm like, okay, Teemo went down river, so I'm going to push this out. Now watch carefully. Last time I look, I think I sidestepped here thinking I got around the cannon minion. I didn't. So now I'm leading the pack. But I'm looking over here. So when I see Hecarim's close to dying, I'm like, I better ult Hecarim, because I don't want him to die. But unfortunately, I'm taking tower shots. Because I'm hearing the sound effect, and I'm going, wait, what? Why am I taking tower? So, of course, when I watch the replay, yeah. That's when I realized, are you kidding me? Minion pathing is what screwed me. So, I jump in, and we're super low health, and watch this. My auto attack didn't go through. Teemo should be dead. Can somebody in the comments explain that BS? I'm still like flabbergasted, but it must be that Teemo's auto attack just barely went off first and registered, and mine didn't. This is like Halo 3, where if two people simultaneously melee each other, whoever had the better connection wins. Watch. But, I mean, it looks like my auto attack should have registered and he should be dead. No, it wasn't the Q. It was still on cooldown. I really hope someone could explain that BS. Teemo should be dead right now. But at least Teemo dies. Thank God. As always, skill cap was right. Lower elos seem to turn into this, just team death matches. No one tries to think about playing objectives. It's see if you can kill the enemy team, focus them. Now my ultimate was down at this point, and I did have my teleport, but I was trying to look for a ward to teleport to. I could have just gone to the wave over there and then just come in, which would have been perfect. I would have ran into Victor. Poor Hecarim targeted a minion. Well, and since I saw Teemo, and at least 3 of them were mid, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just push out top lane. And once again, it's just more fighting. Victor gets killed. Oh, man. Okay, now this time I learned my lesson from the previous videos, that I'm level 11, she's level 8, so I knew I could fight her. But I'm not too experienced when it comes to fighting people under tower. Seeing how aggressive she was, I had a strong feeling, I'm like, there's gotta be somebody coming down here. And sure enough, yep, Teemo was up here. But I knew he wasn't going to be able to kill me. But it looks like Alistair's trying to look for a fight here in the river. Hecarim comes in, as always, and does his thing. Unfortunately dies, but Zeri comes in, and Zeri at this point is fed, 12 and 2. Takes out Jhin, takes out Rengar, takes out Janna. Or almost. Teemo's coming in from behind. I guess my team didn't see him? No, I guess there was no wards, so... Teemo gets Alistair, but Zeri's like, okay, I'll take a Teemo. But I come in and save the day. With Zeri and me, I felt like we had plenty of time to take it. And sure enough we did, because even though Victor showed up, he's trying to clear the wave, trying to poke, but it's like, nope. Okay, so I decided, well, let's go into the jungle, see if we can clear some camps, but then, oh no, 3v1. Well, okay, she's making her way over to me. I try to get my W on her, and it blocks a couple of shots. We kill the Jhin, but Rengar shows up, and it's still a 3v2. So I'm like, I'm getting out of here. Pushing really hard. I just noticed their support has teleport. That's really interesting. And no wonder Janna... Wow, 1 in 10. I was trying to tell my team my ult is coming up soon, but they decided to go in anyway. Rengar tries his best to take out Zeri, but not so good. Zeri then goes after Victor. Janna, meanwhile, is once again just going off on her own, as always. Alistair doing his thing to just keep them CC'd. And I'm just up here in top lane like, okay, I'll just keep pushing this. Don't mind me, guys. I got my ult. I'm ready. I mean, I keep looking back down here. I'm trying to see, like, where they're at and how they're doing in the fights. But I just noticed, like, oh, they seem to be doing just fine. They don't need my help. So I keep playing objectives. There's no need for me to go down there and group up with them. So, it's a 3v4 right now down here. And at first my team's doing pretty good about holding back. But after that lands, they're really trying hard to initiate a fight. I don't know what Jin's trying to do on his own. But while I'm trying to split push, but I am keeping an eye down here. And I see Zeri might die here, so I ult her just in time. Get the flash on Teemo. At first I back up, but I come right back in so I can take those tower shots, giving Zeri the quadra kill. And we just push the wave from here. And then, oh look, there's a Rengar here. Poor Rengar. So I definitely think my team pushed a little too hard. Alistair goes still too hard. So, since we had 2 people dead, I figured, well, with Victor being mid, I can't really do much there. So, even though this wave is already pushed, I figured, well, might as well, again, just clear their jungle. And then slowly start pushing out the wave if I can. I had faith that my team was not going to engage in a 3v2. I did see Rengar down here. And I took a look, I'm like, I'm level 14, he's only level 11. This is where I was like, I think I could probably take Rengar in a fight. But Rengar has the feeling that I'm here, and sure enough he scans me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he knows I'm here. So I make it look like I'm running away, and then we go at it, we start fighting. I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally take on this Rengar easy. But here I thought, ah, darn, he's gonna get away. But no, I make sure he does not get away. And sure enough, the rest of my team starts showing up. And because of that, I'm like, well, since I'm here, might as well help him out. But it did not look like my team needed help. So I'm like, well, might as well go down here and start pushing this wave out. That looks like a bug. That's not supposed to be there. And here we go again. It's just crazy to see when your team is just essentially playing team deathmatch, which you just know isn't going to be the best thing to do. But when the other team, I guess, just keeps throwing away their lives back at us, you might as well just keep collecting, and then once they're dead, you just keep pushing and start taking objectives. And looking at it, I'm amazed. I was actually catching back up with Teemo, so definitely take that advice from Skill Cap that keep trying to go into lane and get CS when you can. You'll slowly watch, you'll be able to come back. I knew Zeri was in trouble, so I ulted to come help her out. She definitely needed it. And I'm like, okay, I gotcha. I'll go and try to help out Hecarim as best I can. Definitely don't want to tower dive that, so I ping them, trying to tell them, nope, don't go in, don't go in. Especially since we're trying to wait for Alistair, but Janna just decides to do her own thing. I think she was trying to make the play by ulting and knocking us back over here with her marksman and mage. Zeri unfortunately gets killed by that. But I guess Lux wants to stay. I have no idea what Alistair's trying to do, but I guess at this point he's very confident. Because they just cannot kill him, and Lux is right there to help him out. Nope. And then Rengar comes and collects a good chunk of gold there. Since they were doing dragon, I decided to teleport in. This was not a good call, for sure. I thought we might be able to go in, but this was not at all a good call since it's only a 3v4 against us. But that's why I pinged them saying, no, back off. I think here is where I said, just go Baron, because, look, bot lane's pushing hard, mid is going to push as well. When you've destroyed 2 inhibitors, both of those lanes are going to just continue to push. They have to retreat and stop these waves from destroying their Nexus since they've only got one tower left. So this was totally a good call, telling my team, like, let's just go Baron, guys, and then we can just push the top lane with the Baron buff. Damn, I mean, look at all these waves that they have to try and stop. But now they have an exposed Nexus. So this is where playing objectives is ultimately just going to win you the game. When you take out a bunch of inhibitors as soon as possible, it's going to be almost impossible for their team to come back, especially if they're really behind. Taking out super minions is going to be impossible for their team. But this is all we got to do. It's just, really at this point, just kind of group up, slowly take out the inhibitors again. If they force a fight, we pretty much win because we're ahead. Hecarim had the right idea, get that middle inhib. Alistair just wanted to go in. And it's pretty much game over. They got too many super minions from the top lane, and they've got us just coming in, and we finished the game. So this one felt like a well-deserved victory. Played it much better than my other games. Certainly learned from some of the smaller mistakes I made, but overall, I gotta say, skill cap videos are slowly getting into my head about what I need to look for, what are the general things I need to be thinking about, the game plan, depending on the champion I'm playing, and then who I'm playing against, and then playing around your team's synergy, and always playing for objectives every chance you get, and wave management. I mean, there's just so many things that skill cap has been teaching me, and overall, it's been great, and so far this game just showed that when you execute your game plan really well, and you try to make the least amount of mistakes possible, the game can be this simple to achieve a victory. Alrighty, and so our current rank is Bronze 4. I'm not sure how it works. I know I still got to play 3 more placement matches, and then maybe I'll get the final one, or is this already kind of telling me basically where I'm going to be at this current point? If that's the case, then hey, we're still in Bronze, and according to Skill Cap, since I subscribed to their website, and in 5 months I should be at Silver 2, I believe. So I would say we're at a pretty good pace to get there. I know I should be playing more games and I could easily get there, but I just don't have as much time as I would like, so I'll try to put in a couple more matches and see where we get and see how high we can get. And yeah, hopefully by the end of the season, we'll see the progression from when I was Iron, and then through the gameplay, we're going to see how well I've gotten better as a League of Legends novice, and then see if all these skills that I have learned is actually going to get me to a high rank. Gold would be nice to get back up there, which is, for the most part, it was in silver, but the highest I ever made it was gold, so gotta at least aim as high as you can. But for now, let's try to aim for gold at the very least, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you next week on the next episode of Rising from Iron.